Greetings. This guy, he's a 3D modeler. He doesn't say it. Welcome everybody to another UpX World live stream. I am Thank Me Later, joined by the always lovely Snails Pacing.
Hello.
There we go. Six Cassidy in the house. What up? So tonight we have a very exciting episode. We are officially launching and showcasing the first round of the community project Always Be Creating. I'm going to drop a link. Hey, and speaking of one of our artists in the house, Pure Rolex, you're going to get to see his work today, have an opportunity to buy it live. And as well as Pure, all of the artists have been given copies of their NFTs. They've received exclusive artist prints of their work. So they will be able to give them away if they want or do any sort of contest. So keep an eye out for that. If they decide to do anything, we'll announce that on the show. Hey, Keith, welcome to the stream.
Thank you for the comment.
So there's the link. Shaq in the house, one of the other artists. So I think that would be all four artists are currently either on stream or in the audience for this month's Always Be Creating. So that is very cool. Before we actually show the art, Snail Spacing, is there anything that you would like to say about the January submissions and the entire thing so far?
Oh, I was really excited and inspired to see what everyone created. I said as soon as I get all my stuff moved in, I'm definitely pulling out my oil pastels. Thank you for that, Rolex.
Pure Rolex.
Pure Rolex. Thank you.
Yes.
So bad with names.
I think that's how I've always said it. Pure Rolex. pure, or it'd be like pure Rolex. No, pure Rolex. That's how I like to say it.
Anyhow, very inspired and excited to see what comes next.
All right. Well, without further ado, so that's the link to the Hive drop. So we have been using NFT Hive. If you're not familiar with it, it is a pretty cool site. I'll be honest. So I kind of this month led the actual creation of this. It's been a little while since I've been in the space for creating NFT collections and drops. However, shout out to NFT Hive. Really made this a pretty seamless process. There's a couple new features that I'm excited to try out. So you can see there's actually 4 drops. So the link I sent you was to snail spacing. So this drop here, I will, before we go into this month's Always Be Creating, I do want to give a special shout out to this is snail spacing alpha drop. It is 15 wax, which all of this will help to actually go fund all. You'd be surprised how much like RAM and CPU and things you actually have to do. So this is a one-off mandala. Do you want to talk a little bit about this design and this creation?
Sure. This is actually a design I made during a really rough time in my life. It's called Teardrops and was a reflection on all the crying I was doing. So I tried to use the teardrop shape in as many ways as I could and kind of contain it.
That was a lot more depressing than I was expecting it to be.
Sorry.
I thought there were tears of joy. Apparently not. So there you go. She has harnessed her sadness and can be yours for just 15 wax. This is a special alpha drop, and I will say that I plan on using this. Our initial plan is to make some sort of very simple card game using the images as card backs, things like that. Owners of this particular alpha drop will be able to join the beta testing for it. So for 15 wax, I do encourage you, if you have some extra wax, pick up one of these now. Support snail spacing as she starts this collection process, and apparently shares some really deep emotional things through the creation of mandalas. So I look forward to seeing more of her work on the mandalas. There you go. And there'll only ever be 100 of those minted, by the way. So pretty cool. So let's go through on the topic of mandalas. So here these are. You can see here there is 21 days left. So this does end midnight Central Time on the 24th. This one here is called
Nature's Dawn.
Nature's Dawn. See, now this is one. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. It's just, I was like, where in the heck is the title? Nature's Dawn by Snail Spacing. And since we have you, go ahead and why don't you tell us? Hopefully, this one's a little not as sad.
Sorry.
No, I mean,
appreciate way to express yourself.
So. Hey, absolutely.
Good and bad.
Yeah, we don't want to hold back here.
No, this one is about beginning. So it's about a new dawn in nature, per the name. Starts with the sunrise in the middle, and then it goes out to the wind, which goes over the mountains, which goes over the trees and the plants. And then that goes over, you can consider it either kind of the shoreline, or you can consider water like bubbles. And then the outside is meant to be kind of like either outer space or water like ripples, depending on how you think about it.
Yeah, I definitely, the outer ring for sure conveys almost like a motion to me. Mm-hmm. So I can definitely see that almost as like stars spinning in a galactic way. Another way that I like to look at this, honestly, and I just kind of looked at it, is like with that outer ring is almost like a tree, like rings of a tree.
Oh, is it like ages?
Yeah, but then like in a kind of an interesting way where it's like there's other elements inside of this tree. And yeah, the pebbles / bubbles, I think for me, when I look at them, I think pebbles. Like it, to me, it is like a pebble path.
Yeah, and that was my original intention. And then I kind of stepped back from it and was like, it kind of looks like bubbles. So
the reason I would say it's more pebbly is because bubbles to me tend to have a more standard round orientation. There's a lot of like oblong
Mm-hmm.
shapes in here. So I think for me, like that's why at least mentally, I immediately am like, oh, I identify this more as pebbles because of
Perfect.
some of the more odd shapes. I would like this is not like I don't know if you see my mouse like that to me is not a shape that would happen as a bubble. Like that's a pebble, but
That's totally fair. As I said, I'm like, it's a little bit open to interpretation, but it's definitely kind of a hopeful new dawn.
all right, very cool. There you go. Nature's Dawn 3-wax. They're all 3-wax, by the way. Next up, we have Inspiration by the one and only Shaq. Go ahead, give us as a art, I guess for lack of a better word, curator. What are your impressions of Shactalin's Inspiration?
Yeah, no, we talked about last time.
We're going to talk about it every time, by the way.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yes.
No. This is really exciting. It has so much movement to it, and then the colors they said was inspired by the colors of life, and I definitely see that. You've got the greens, you've got the yellows, which yellows make everything pop. So I love to see them. And purple, which makes that good contrasting colors or complementary colors. And then outside of like the main motion through the whole thing, you also have the ruffles and ripples around the edges, which are really exciting.
Stadium Chasers, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Glad that you like it. I'll be honest. So I love Shaq. I love Shaq's art. Colors are like, I mean, maybe if you're an insect, that's how you view the world. Do you know, like, because there isn't really like blue anything in nature. Nature doesn't really create anything that's like that blue or purple. What up? Architect in the house. I know, man. It's been a while. We are back. Yeah. Yep. Energy that radiates from our bodies are those. Oh, dang. All right.
There we go.
All right. Shaq on the attack. Say
Insight from the artist.
There we go. Insight. Yep. These are the energies. Honestly, from that perspective, I definitely relate to having like a lot of like that blurred energy feeling sometimes. It's Saturday night. I'm probably going to get some blurred energy feelings tonight, if you know what I mean. No, anyway.
Yeah,
so
like auras.
Yeah, like I like that. Shaq always does a great job with like the use of like the fluid motion. Like this feels very alive. Like I feel like if I still enjoyed sandwiches like I used to, I could stare at this for a long time and enjoy it. Also, like right here in the middle, and I just realized there's my mouse. This kind of feels like a tongue. You see that right here? Like every time I look at it, I see something different. Like this could be a tongue. Also could be like that. Like I almost see like a beak, like the head of a bird, and then like this is like a wing over here, like a little like bird person with a beak, and then a little like chicken wing over here.
It's like reading clouds.
Yeah, no, and it's got like a crazy like energy mohawk right here, like no.
I mean, I think I see what you're talking about. I'm like, I definitely see other things.
Ooh, or it could be like a trippy mushroom person. So like if this was the person and then they're like holding up like a magical something over here. And so it's like a mushroom person, like a mushroom cap. Like this is like a wizard's cap hat.
Kind of like the Snarf person from He-Man.
Yeah, there you go. I'll be honest, I pretended like I have any idea what you're talking about. I don't.
Okay.
But overall, I really like this piece. I mean, I like anything that Shaq does. Definitely take a look at that. That is Inspiration. Always be creating January 2024. Next up is our main man, Pure Rolex, with his entry Dream. And this is the piece that you said is inspiring you to get back into oil pastels.
Yes.
So this is give me the medium again, because I feel like you know it better than I do.
So oil pastels it's a mixture of wax crayon and oil pastel is what they said. So it's a mixture of both. Um, Oil pastels are like adult crowns is what I consider them because they're oily.
What's that word?
Adult crayons.
Crowns?
I have never decided how to say it, so I just say it a little bit differently each time.
Crayons.
Crayons, or crowns.
It's definitely not crowns. Like that's definitely wrong.
I don't know.
No, it's definitely not crowns. Crayons. I'm okay with crayons or crayons.
Okay, I'll stick to one of those.
But crowns? That's a wild
It's the way I've heard it said. So
by who?
I mean, probably the same people that call it pecan ice cream.
Oh, well, those people are not worth. No, we're not listening to them. So anyway, back to this piece called Dream.
Anyhow, yes, oil pastels are like soft crayons that have thicker pigment.
Okay.
They are smoother. So
okay.
They also get on your skin, which is not good for kids.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can also
That's
you can
a
blend
weird
them.
fact.
But you can blend them.
Gotcha. Down south.
Yes,
Steve.
down south is where they're called crowns.
Well, I ain't trusting no one down. I mean, I should say that. We have a lot of down south listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did. So I'm glad that you approved of it. I wanted to make it a little bit cleaner for you. I know that you wanted to, and we all get busy. So I was like, so yes, I did crop it to make it a little bit better, like more. I think what you were going for. Obviously, yeah. So glad that you like it. Okay, so now that we know, so it's the crayon medium. Crayons and oil pastels. So
aside from that, the work itself is awesome, especially not starting with black paper because that's what I initially assumed until I looked at it closer and realized it's actually started with white paper. So all the white negative space was either left or put on with the oil pastels, which is really fun and expressive and takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then you've got just because
it's
4 colors in the middle that really are able to pop because of that background and because of the centralization and the energy moving center-wise.
Yes. So, and again, being Dream, like this to me also just gives such a movement effect and is like I'm either like I imagine either coming out of a dream or going into a dream where like it's either like the darkness is getting more and like that's the last bit of the dream is that flower, or like all of a sudden I'm going into a dream and it's that last bit of flower, or even like going actively through a dream and like everything else is just kind of dark and that's all I can see.
Yeah, because it's for the prompt beginnings, I definitely feel like it's going into the dream.
Yeah.
Just because of the prompt. But it could go
space travel for sure.
I can definitely see that. It looks kind of like hyperdrive in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like you were talking about the star streaks in my drawing. It's that star streak feeling.
Yeah. Honestly, Architect, what we're going to start with is probably like a solitary free cell hearts. Like we're going more proof of concept of having a card game that then the art is just used as images in the card game to be able to redeem it just as a proof of concept before we start expanding. So we're going to start very simple and small and then continue to expand from there. And then also the idea is these are also going to be redeemable for discounts or other things at things like the UpX World Shop once that's back up. So we want these to be really affordable. So again, they're 3 wax each with functionality that adds value that is well in excess of 3 wax through functionality. So that's really the idea here, is that they'll be collectible, tradable, very easy to get in, and then having some fun redeemable things to be able to start with. So that's the idea. Keep it light and fun and very accessible to as many people as possible. Yes. All right. Yeah, I really like, and honestly, the other thing I really like this that is always draws my attention is the blue right here. because it makes me feel like I'm looking at it behind my eye, almost like the blue of your iris. So it feels like almost like the iris, like behind the scenes of that, which is kind of gnarly as well. So really like that. So that's snail spacing piece brought to you by Pure Rolex. That's what I wanted to say. Pure Rolex Dream. Last but not least, now that you haven't seen this one yet, this is my piece. Oh man, it's a widescreen. And oh gosh, wait. And it's called Find a Way. Stay. If I can find a way to stay here. So this was a piece that I created, and it is meant to be kind of the journey of me and UpX World. So anybody who knows kind of the history, the long history of UpX World, it's gone through a ton of iterations. I've been working on UpX World in one way or another for probably almost 4 years now, definitely 3 years, maybe more. It's had several iterations. So in the background here, in the image, I have like a couple of the kind of the historical, like the disintegrations and the iterations of kind of these ideas and the, what I wanted UpX World, and just realizing like, hey, that is still part of when I look at around UpX World, that is part of our history. Like that is part of the skyline, is the all of the iterations, all of the destruction, but in a weird way, like that can still make a lot of beauty. I wanted to have representation of all the other things that have also just come out of the cloud of UpX World. So while all of the past iterations of UpX World haven't quite hit the mark, we've created an amazing community full of magic and other creations. So while my exact visions haven't been able to be fully what I've wanted them to be, and there's been setbacks and destructions and things that have been ripped apart, there is still an immense amount of beauty out in the community and the ecosystem. A lot of those people are here. And then on our beautiful red rocky planet. So for those of you who know the history of UpX World, I mean, it is a red rocky planet. That is the vision. And here is a single green sprout on this seemingly dead planet. And it's about how we find a way. So even in the hardest of circumstances, even in the wake of absolute destruction, is if you don't give up, you can still find a way to sprout life. And for me, that is the value proposition I bring as a leader to this project and as a leader of UpX World, is that, hey, look, I will own my failures, but I will never give up, and I will always find a way. And that's what we're doing here with this project. And we will continue to do that moving forward. So yes, find a way. Do you want to give any comments, any critiques?
I mean, it was just interesting to see you put it together with AI collage, and that how well all the different light sources and everything came together to create one beautiful focal piece.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a couple things of it I wasn't totally 100% happy with, but the general composition. So yes, again, this was AI assisted in the sense that I gave AI several prompts to create elements that I then took and did multi-layer and did some color changing and manipulation of it to end with this image overall. Yeah, and that's really what it is for me, is like this is the story, right? This is the story for me of UpX World, of the cycles of destruction, but hey, there's still growth. We will find a way as a community, as a group, and if nothing else, look at the amazing galaxy we've created, right? So even if that tiny sprout doesn't live, even if it ends up being another destroyed world down the line, there is so much greatness that we've been able to influence and create and be a part of as a community, that I feel no matter what, that is a wild success to me. And I am just blessed to be a part of it all. So that's my piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also love the point that it's not just, it's a new beginning, not just a beginning.
Yeah, that was definitely with beginnings, because I'll be honest, like it's always bittersweet, right? Like, for me, it's hard to dust off all the old things and go, okay, like, whew, get back onto Discord, go find out the wax accounts and set all that back up and try to figure out what's what. And while it is a beginning, it's not necessarily a beginning without history. Like, it's not a completely blank slate history, right? It's not a completely blank slate beginning. And so I think it was important for me in this piece to acknowledge that and to say, hey, look, beginnings don't come out of nowhere. Like, beginnings often have a preamble or a pre-context to where they were before. So yeah, it was important for me to pay some homage to that as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so there it is. There's your 4 pieces. Thank you. I already got one claimed. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Also, for those of you who don't know, because we never discussed this. Right now, there are 3 wax. So the way, and actually, this is pretty cool. So, I'm not actually on the account for it, but the way it works is that all of the artists are tied to these, and they get 2 parts, 2 out of 3 parts. So when you set up the drop, it's NFT Hive does a great job. You can actually add in people so that way they get a percentage cut. Snail spacing decided on a 2-to-1 ratio. So 2 parts go to the artist for every 1 that goes back to snail spacing. So obviously there's like the fees, so it's slightly less than 2 and 1, but that's the general split, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, shout out again to NFT Hive for making this really easy to do. Wow. No. What happened there? So definitely take a look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. We got claimed on all of them so far. Wow, thank you. Thank you for everybody's support. Love to see that. That is super cool. For if you are just joining, oh my goodness.
Advertising and how good it is. So it's trying to advertise its rates.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out how I can scroll without, anyway. Terrible at that. We'll figure that out. So for those of you who don't know or just tuning in for the first time, at the end of the month, whoever has the most of these from the store, whoever's claimed the most, will receive the artist proof. So each one of these will have an artist proof, which is a 1-of-1 version of the art. So whoever mints the most and actually what I'll say is actually has the most of them, I'll have to supply some art for Feb. It was love, wasn't it? It absolutely was, Architect. We would love to see you submit for that.
Yes.
Does it count if we mint our own? Absolutely. Yes. Yep. So each artist received, and actually Shaq, I think you received 35 because I misminted. But each artist receives 25 artist prints. So it actually states on those, the first 25, they are artist prints, and those have been sent to your corresponding wallet. So Pure Rolex, you have 25. And Shaq, I did actually send you 35 by accident, but they are marked as artist prints. So those are artist prints. So those are the first prints that go directly to the artist to do with whatever they want. However, in order to win this, it's going to be the ones that are minted from this process. And yes, absolutely, as an artist, you are welcome to mint as many as you want. And whoever holds the most at the end, when the timer goes off, so on the 24th of February, whoever holds the most of them. So technically, you could mint a bunch and then, I don't know, resell them for some reason or give them away. But whoever holds the most of the ones minted from here will receive the one of one artist proof. And so those will be essentially a profit sharing version, much like we were doing with the pyramid pieces, if you remember from 1111. However, they are the same ones here. So that way, again, everybody's going to have access to all of this art. But if you want some exclusive stuff related to this, so we were talking about, when you burn these, and actually, so there's a new mechanic on these that actually is like a burnable feature, which I have to figure out exactly how it works, but these are now encoded. Let me see if I can see copy drop link, show info. So look, so redemption type, it actually has a redemption type. So these are actually redeemable. So you can actually redeem them and then it should mark them as redeemed without necessarily burning them. So that way they're usable as kind of redeemable tokens. And so that will be what we end up doing with them. So that way you get to keep the beautiful art and have that in your collection. It doesn't necessarily get destroyed, which I thought was really cool. Again, NFT Hive is doing a lot of cool stuff with this. So very excited about it. Also, in addition to the purchasers of this getting the artist proof, the highest one with the highest claimed at the end of this will also have their art. You will get to work with myself and a developer to create a layer 1 asset. So what they're called outdoor decoration. So we will take your art and work to create a outdoor decoration representative of that art that will then be created in Upland. So that is a great opportunity to have your work actually then featured inside of Upland, the layer 1 game that we are ultimately going to be supporting. Additionally, the top artists will also have a chance to work with our design team to convert some of this art into physical merchandise that will then be sold at the store with redemption coupons to be burned with the NFT. So lots of cool stuff. And we're going to go into more detail about that throughout the month. I'm going to hopefully get some mock-ups of some prototypes of what items could look like with some of this art to kind of showcase that. Maybe even if you have some ideas, so Pure Rolex Shack, if you have some ideas of an outdoor decor style item that you would like to be like created in relationship to your art in the event that you win, let me know. Maybe we'll do some mock-ups to kind of showcase, hey, like this is what potentially we could create as layer 1 items that could be available at the UpX World Outdoor Decor Shop. So lots of really fun collaborations that we are planning on doing. This is very early days. So if you didn't get in this month, don't worry. We got plenty more coming. There is all the information is available. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. And let me share that. Share this tab instead.
Yeah, you can get way ahead if you want.
Yes, present. Let me see how. All right, cool. So let me. Yes, so we just had beginnings, and that just closed and is live now. And the next one is Love with a date of February 23rd. So you have all month to work on your magic love potion to be sent in by the 23rd. And here's the schedule moving forward. Do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the schedule?
Yeah. So after love, we've got envy in March. Then we've got showers for April. Maybe we've got a June moonbug, and then in July we've got heat. So feel free to work way ahead, however comfortable you are, or skip one if you're not inspired by that prompt. But hopefully you'll be inspired by all of them, and we'll get to see tons of art.
What one are you most looking forward to?
Probably moonbug. I have quite a few ideas for it.
Moonbug. I like, my brain does not like want anything besides like a ladybug whose shell is a moon. Like that's all I can picture. Like, and it's just embedded in my mind. Like that's what a moonbug is, and it feels super cool, and I can't wait to try and make that happen. The agency out on the X, which I'm not saying that Elon Musk saw what we were doing with UpX World and was like, "Oh, we really like X," and so we're gonna rename Twitter to X because they saw us when we were doing tweets and with our X logo, and was like, "That looks really dope." But chronologically, it did happen after. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can fill in the gaps where you want. Is Elon Musk a big fan of UpX World? Yeah, probably. But the agency out on the X, aka Twitter, is saying, I want to enter. Please do.
Please do.
We would love to have your art. We would love to talk about it. I bet you're right. I hope I'm right. That would be fantastic. If I ever have the chance to meet him, I'm going to be like, hey, so let's be honest. You were one of the 5 people that saw that tweet about UpX World, and you were like, that's a pretty good idea. I'm going to take that X. In all honesty, I believe he bought X.com back like very, very long ago. Like when one of his first paychecks from PayPal or something. He used it to buy X.com and has just been sitting on it. Which I can appreciate as someone who loves to buy domain names, just sit on a domain name and then like, oh, hey, I just paid $1 trillion for this website. Let's rebrand it entirely and make it impossible and confusing to know, like, what do you do? Because I would imagine people still call it tweets. Anyway, I mean, because what do you, Zeets? I don't know. Like X, let me X you. You still have to call it tweet. Like you don't have another name for. Anyway,
sent you a Z.
An X. I buy them also. Fun game, really. I don't buy Zeets. Man, I missed something. All right. So, anything else that you want to talk about? We need to all shout loud on Twitter until Elon hears us and sees the project. I love your enthusiasm, Pure Rolex. Let's do that. Hashtag the original X. And then X from DMX is going to be like, what? I will end you. I don't know if there's an X in DMX. I mean, there's obviously an X in DMX. Exhibit. That's who would be like, excuse me, X to the what? I'm the original X. Yeah. Anyway. What else you got for our fantastic listeners tonight?
Yeah, not too much. Just I'm excited to see everyone's new drops for love this month. Feel free to drop them in early if you've got the idea done. If that ever happens.
Yep. So it's the same. Let me see if I can find. Oh, I don't have the link. It's on the UpX World Discord. Do you have the link?
I think so.
All right.
1 second, submission form.
What is the alpha drop for again?
It's just this.
Great question. Yeah.
Okay.
Great question, Shack Attack. So share this tab. This right here. So the alpha drop right here was we were just testing to see how the drops all worked, and wanted to get it up, and B is to help kind of fund all the just the basic cost of updating and creating all these sets and the drops and things. But what UpX World is going to do, and what I'm going to do in support of this, is this will be the token to get into beta testing when we launch the card game. So before open availability of the card game, this will be part of that. Ooh, you know what? Exclusive card back? I think so. So probably will be an exclusive card back or exclusive piece of art as well for those who own this. And will definitely be your kind of your beta access to that card game. So if you are interested in just supporting snail spacing in general, please pick up one of these teardrop pieces. They are absolutely gorgeous. This is a hand-drawn mandala, and it is just spectacular. The detail, it's really great to look at. And then B will be, if you are a holder of this, once the beta testing for the card game begins, you will get beta access to that. So thank you for asking. So there you go.
All right, I sent you the link in the private chat because I don't have a YouTube yet.
Oh, well, you could just put it in our chat, I think.
I cannot.
You cannot?
I cannot.
Okay, well.
I did try.
Oh, okay, here. All right.
Thank you.
So there's the submission form. Go check it out. If you have any questions, DM me on Discord. I am back on the Discords. I apologize. I'm probably not cut up on server chats. Your best bet is to DM me directly. My DMs are open. Feel free to slide into them. We're going to get Snail Spacing on the Discord as well, so that way she can help answer questions and start engaging with the community, maybe sharing art, doing some Discord fun. But slow and steady. That's our plan. Slow and steady. It's going to win the race.
Yeah, and feel free to email me as well.
Oh, yeah. Email at snailspacing@gmail.com.
It's old school, but it works.
So I guess it is kind of old school now.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, there you have it. I think that's going to do it for us this Saturday evening. Thank you for all of those who have joined. Thank you for all of those who are already supporting and buying the work and the art. It is absolutely great to see and so appreciated. It's support like that makes projects like this continue and brings us back doing it week in and week out. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And y'all remember to take life at your own pace, even if that's a snail's pace.
Cheers.